Yeah, so we're doing all that shit. I want to get to the part where we start talking about you, right?
Oh,
So
where are my tissues? Hold on. Where are my tissues? Okay, they're close.
I gotta prep this a little bit before this, right? Stoke is an asshole. It is very, very
100%.
difficult to get him to compliment something genuinely, right? So like if some like for instance, like we did a thing for a while where like I was playing, he's like, yo, let me hear like who you've been reacting to, what music you've been listening to, like let me hear some shit. So we were going back and forth, like I played a song, he played a song, I played a song, he played a song. He ain't like
Okay.
none of the shit that I put him on.
He never likes any of your shit though. Why are you
I don't
surprised?
know. I wasn't surprised. I like halfway through, I was just like, I don't know why I'm doing this, but here's my pick.
But you thought because it was your birthday, you were gonna get some in there.
Yeah, right. I know he could have. He bro. My guy did not crack May a smile as I was playing them good shit too. I'm like, you're crazy. This shit is fire, dog.
No, forget no.
But yeah, so we're doing all that. We talked about Cap for a while. Salute the Cap. And like just basically just shit that we were excited for, like with the assembly shit coming out and stuff like that, and just some behind the scenes shit. And then we got to talking about you. So I told him I was like, yo, I actually hit PQ up the week before. And I was like, yo, if you can make it out here, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we'll fucking surprise him and shit like that. I was like, this will be super fucking dope. And you can see it in his face when I mentioned it. He was like, oh man, like that would have been something else. You know what I mean? And it was the first time that I've seen any kind of like genuine like emotion about the people we were talking about. And like his whole like and like we get into it and he was like, I guess I talked to you and him more than you guys talk to each other at
And we
this
speak
point.
to each other, yes.
So like that's the thing because he was like he started asking me like catching up like how is she blah 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 things like that, and he's like, man, I don't get what's up with PQ. I don't get it. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, she's solid as far as I know. I was like, she was having some I don't want to put that on recorded. I was like, she was having some she was considering some life changes, right? And I was like, but other than that, I was like, as far as I know, everything's solid. Like I didn't it also didn't have nothing to do with her. I think it was all, you know what I'm saying, other shit. You know what I'm saying? She still got the passion for everything she do. And he like stops me and he's like, nah, like you don't understand. She's fucking the fact that she's doing shit the way that she's doing, I think is the dumbest stuff in the world. She don't need none of them. And I was like, go on. I'm like, I'm in. I'm locked in, my guy, because I think we're on the same page with this. And he's like, yo, he starts like getting real serious. Mind you, we've been like chopping it up all fucking day. This is like end of the night type stuff. This you can tell like the stove is gone and Toomey's coming out. You know what I'm saying? It was like one of those fucking moments.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't want to mention names of companies, so I don't want to get nobody in nothing. You know what I'm saying? But he's like, yo,
Right.
they need her way more than she needs them. I don't know what it is that she's doing there or why she allows herself to get stressed. But when it comes to hip hop culture, when it comes to authenticity, when it comes to the reason that people tap in, there are places where people tap in because of the name. You know what I'm saying? Like there are people who watch Q102 or listen to music on radio stations because of the name of the radio station. And then you have
Right.
people that will tap into a radio station because of a person. When it comes to the connections that she has, the way that she taps into fucking hip hop, she needs to be doing this shit on her own. And like hearing the way that he was talking about having faith in your abilities and how you were like the cornerstone of what was real hip hop journalism versus every other fucking interview tard that's fucking out there. Like he was talking his shit. You know how Stone gets when he gets in his fucking
He was
bag.
talking about the journal Tods.
Yeah, like he was getting in this fucking bag and he's like, yo, she don't need none of that. If she started her own shit up tomorrow, what would change? And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, think about it. If she started her own shit tomorrow, what guest is she getting now that she's not getting on her own shit? I was like, you're right. He was like, if she was doing her own shit now, what story is she covering now that she wouldn't have the ability to cover on her own shit? I was like, you're right. And she was like, I don't think she realizes how important she is to this culture, and that's a shame. And you can see like he really meant it when he fucking said it. Now, obviously, I started chiming in and stuff like that too. And I was like, you know how I feel about you. I was like, yo, this the whole thing. Like we bonded over the Triple Distill podcast between the three of us and shit like that. And I was like, yo, like I'm with you. I fucking agree. Like anything that I could do, you know what I'm saying, to support her and everything like that. Like you would have all of my fucking resources. You would have his resources. You would have all your contacts, which are fucking numerous and shit like that. And I was like, man, there's this woman on the other side of the world that so many people inside of a very, very gated culture have this respect and love for. And like, yeah, I'm not sure she realizes how much everybody fucking loves her and cares about her and how
You will
much.
not break me. I refuse.
I'm not trying to look, I'm being serious with you.
I
How
know you're being serious.
it's sometimes you need to be told how great you are. I literally have an entire segment of my life online dedicated to these interviews that I watched your shit before to try and prep for. Like that's heavy. You are inspirational. Like you are causing other people to want to be better by just doing what you are doing. If you take that same space now and you look at X, Y, and Z journalists that's doing it, I can't say the same for them. And that's not the shit on nobody else. I'm not about to bring one person down to make someone else feel better. It's
Yeah,
about
like
it's about the work that you put in and the connections that you make and the genuineness of the fucking interviews and not the how did you get your name? You know what I mean? Like there's an authenticity to it. There's a certain connection where it's like you can tell people that got a job versus people who are where they're supposed to be. And he was like, man, it's really fucked up if she lets that place stress her out because they need her, not the other way around. And he took a step back. He's like, look, I don't know what her financial situation is. I'm not saying she doesn't need a job. I'm not saying she's not working hard or nothing like that. All I'm saying is in the event that she wanted to take the reins and do this shit on her own, I think the whole culture takes a step up and supports her on it. That was fucking heavy.
that's a lot to hear.
And like think about it yourself right now because it's not cap. Like you can say nice things to people and you kind of know you take it with a grain of salt. But I start really thinking about it and like, is there anybody that you think that you wouldn't be able to have that relationship with that you do now that matters to the culture? Like, is there anyone that's actually there that you've interacted with that you've left a bad taste in their mouth where like, man, that was a bad journalist. I never want to fucking deal with her again. She painted me out to demonize me. She's TMZ. All she cares about is like, you don't have not one black mark as far as I know on your fucking credentials. That's crazy. Like that's you should have a few at this point. Like you should have fucked up a couple times by this point in a 2022 cancel culture type environment. Like I don't know, man. Half of this I was like, yo, I want to come and I want to tell you about this amazing experience that I had with Stogue and how fucking crazy that everything was while I was out there and how I'm never gonna forget this day in my life. But my biggest takeaway is how much everybody loved you. We're on another side of the world that had nothing to do with you, if we're being honest. And the like such a deep conversation still circles around. And that's how impactful you are. That entire trips on my birthday on the other side of the fucking world, you got the coldest motherfucker in Stogie T and some random ass fucking YouTuber talking about like what an unlikely couple, Doug. And like that was the focal point of the conversation. And I was like, I need to tell her this. I don't care if we decide to post this, if we don't post this, like the Zoom meeting and shit like that is just the fluff to get it out to you. But like, we love you and you are loved by the culture. And I think there's a lot of times people assume people talk badly.
I don't want to cry.
I'll stop after this. There's a lot of time people assume that the conversations that happen behind people's back are always negative. And a lot of times it is true. And I can genuinely say that it doesn't matter who I've talked about. And I've interviewed a lot of cats from SA and around, you know what I'm saying, that the circles that you were involved in, I've never heard someone say a bad thing about you. There's plenty of bad shit about Stoke. I hear bad shit about Stoke every day. I heard some bad shit about Stoke today.
You bad shit about Stoke the first time I spoke to you. I told you he was mean as fuck to me.
I wanted to tell you that. There was a lot of cool shit, and I'll tell you some of the other stuff off recording and everything like that. But like that was the big thing. I just want you to know that we love you. That's all.
Yeah, I love you too.
All right, now I'm gonna stop recording. I'm gonna tell you all the raunchy shit that happened. You ready?
Yes.